Hello everybody, Gatling Golduck back again for Steven Universe Future, and first and foremost, I want to say I am so sorry for how long it has taken me to get this video up. I've been dealing with bronchitis for the past week, so it's been really hard to give it my all in a rant format video, so I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on, and I wanted to say that I'm really sorry for the delay. But thankfully, I'm feeling a lot better than I was, and I am ready to finally give the Steven Universe Future finale what it deserves. Gonna be covering all 4 episodes in one video as promised, and you know what, guys? It's time. Starting things off with Homeworld Bound, and so the Crystal Gems haven't known where Steven has been for the past, 3 days? And now they're not even just gonna acknowledge him. Like, they're gonna sit here questioning Jasper as Steven walks away. Garnet's not even gonna say a word. And it's just like, okay, sure, just let him walk away, you guys. Like, just don't act like attentive to this current situation. Just let him walk right past you when he's been missing for 3 days, and then he suddenly comes back with Jasper. And he looks fucking mortified. Yeah, alright guys, just let him walk away. The first time that we ever see Jasper look remotely sad, when her diamond, quote-unquote, tells her to do something better with her life. And you want to know what they do with Jasper in this finale? You want to know what kind of resolution that they give Jasper in this season finale? In this series finale? Nothing! Jasper gets absolutely nothing to do in this finale. She was brought in so that Steven could kill her, and then brought back from the dead, and then brought in again to do absolutely nothing after she started calling Steven her diamond. We've gone to this plot point where Steven murdered her and then resurrected her, and now she's just gonna be pushed to the side. She has nothing to do with the finale, nothing to do with the resolution. She's here, she's gone. That's literally all that they give to Jasper. She doesn't show up again until the last episode. Are you kidding me right now? This is what you did with Jasper? Nothing? What was the point of even bringing her into this season then? What was the point of doing anything with her if you're just not going to give her any kind of resolution? What was the point of this? This isn't a character arc. This is nothing. Why did they do that? Why did they just drop Jasper off the face of the earth and not do anything with her? Granted, I have no idea what the hell they could have done in order to resolve this, frankly, and what they could have done with her character in general, given the setup that they were going for with this season. However, just why would you do that? Why would you give her nothing? This is the last 4 episodes in your entire series, and you're giving Jasper nothing. All Steven says is do something better with your life. That's all Jasper gets. And then they say goodbye, sort of. That's it for Jasper. She's gone. Some great villain or some great redemption arc she turned out to get. She got nothing in this finale, and she got nothing in this entire series. How does it feel, people out there who actually like Jasper? How does it feel to know that for this entire series, Jasper has had nothing? She's had no character arc, no development, no any kind of resolutions to any of her setups, and no kind of growth, nothing. She just got brought in as a villain, got vanished for half a season, and only showed up in like 3 episodes as cameos. Then she showed up, got her ass beat, got corrupted, vanished again until the very end of season 5. Then she was brought in this season, killed off, brought back immediately, and then she gets nothing. How does it feel, knowing that they did absolutely nothing with this character? What was the fucking point? Oh, look who it is. Little Miss Sunshine. Oh, that's right, I heard the story. This character. Oh, just Spinel, once again, like, this is what I mean when I say that nothing of value was gained out of the movie. Because nothing was done with Spinel in this season. She's just here. And she's clearly not right in the head. This is very clearly established in this episode that Spinel is still crazy. Turns out I was right, that the idea of having 4 genocidal maniacs being your caretakers was a terrible idea. And Spinel is just here, just hanging around, like having fun with the diamonds. Like, she could easily just be removed from this fucking season. She could easily be removed from Steven Universe Future and nothing changes, because she has absolutely no impact on the plot or the characters. So why is Spinel even here? Again, it's just like nothing of value was gained from the Steven Universe movie, because, like, the characters didn't grow, they didn't learn anything, and Spinel just fucks off with the diamonds for the rest of Steven Universe Future, and then when she does show up, she has absolutely no relevance to the plot. What? I'm gonna ask you the same question that I asked the Jasper fans. How does it feel, Spinel fans, to know that your character that was brought into the movie out of nowhere, then after she gets redeemed, quote unquote, gets nothing? How does it feel to know that this character only shows up in 2 episodes out of Steven Universe Future, and in those 2 episodes she has absolutely no character growth and absolutely no relevance to the plot? How does it feel? How does it feel to know that this entire season just wasted the potential that it had left with these characters, rather than developing, I don't know, certain villains that haven't gotten proper redemption arcs, or certain histories for other characters, or, I don't know, maybe focusing on literally anyone but Steven? How does it feel to know that Spinel got nothing? Fuck you, Steven Universe Future. Fuck you. You mean to tell me that by some miraculous miracle, Yellow Diamond can dissect the forced fusions, somehow have all of the pieces necessary to rebuild them in general, and is able to not only completely rebuild their gems, not only resurrect them when they should be dead based off of these standards, and not only completely heal them, they're perfectly fine. The forced fusions are fine. There are no consequences to the Diamond's actions. Somehow, Yellow is able to deconstruct forced fusions that have been buried beneath the surface for goodness knows how long, dissect them, which should kill them by this show's logic, and then is able to resurrect them? Are you fucking kidding me? Steven needed the power of all 4 diamonds in order to bring back Jasper, who he just shattered. This is not even remotely the same thing. And Yellow can just do that? And apparently she's gonna do it with the cluster? Are you fucking kidding me? What was the point? What was the point of any of this? Why? What is the ongoing deal with just the idea that the villains don't have to suffer any consequences? Yeah, there's just no consequences for any bad things that happened. There's no consequences for any of the bad things that they've done. These gems have been forced to fuse together to survive for goodness knows how many years, and Yellow can just fix them, just like that. Like it's no big deal, like she just knows how to do this? Why is it that the heroes of our story are suffering more consequences for their past fuck-ups than the villains are suffering for their crimes against the universe? Why? Okay, and again, fuck you. This is not earned. Yellow feeling remorseful for the awful things that she's done. This isn't earned. I'm just reversing one of my awful experiments. When did you come to that revelation that what you were doing was awful? When did this happen? When did you get the idea that anything that you were doing was wrong? When did you get this? Oh, was it off screen? Oh, wonderful. Because this is how we develop villains that have been committing genocide for thousands of years. We do it off screen so that they can feel bad about the things that they've done. So that they can have this world-shattering revelation that what they've been doing for thousands of years is actually murder towards their own kind, because they totally didn't know that from the start. They totally had no idea that what they were doing was like torture to their people. They had no idea. They're just so ignorant. They were like, no, this is totally fine. Just forcing them all together, just slamming their corpses together and burying them and forcing them to become a giant geoweapon. Yeah, that's totally fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with what we're doing. Yeah, sure. Where the hell did Yellow get the revelation that what she was doing was bad? This isn't earned. This is bullshit. None of this is earned from her. She didn't even feel sorry for what she did to Pink. She felt underappreciated because of all the hard work that she did, and White still didn't approve of her. That's all we got for Yellow as a character. And now she's suddenly like, oh, what I did to these gems was dreadful. When did you get that idea and how? You know, you'd think that these gems would either be furiously fucking pissed at Yellow, or they would be horrified for their lives, or mortified given the existence that they've been living. You'd think that there would be any form of repercussion for Yellow's horrible actions towards her species. You'd think that there would be any kind of repercussion or retribution delivered to her, or any kind of form of punishment dealt onto her for what she has done to her people for thousands upon thousands of years. Because, yeah, sure, the Diamonds might have done bad things, but look, Yellow's making up for it. This change that came absolutely out of nowhere for her character. Look, she's good now. Fuck you. Yellow, you have absolutely no fucking room to scold Steven for how he's acting, considering what you have done for the last few thousand years. You disgust me. And now Blue suddenly gets this weird cloud power that, like, makes gems get high, I think. At least that's the meme. I don't know, just like, what the hell is the point of this power? Like, what was the point of this in general? How did this happen? Like, I get that she explained how this happened, but are you telling me that Diamonds being able to pull powers out of their ass for miraculous and unforeseen reasons just happens? Wow, that's great writing, where your characters just get powers for completely random and for unforeseen reasons. Like, it just happens. Like, the Diamonds are just such enigmas. Like, where did they come from? Why are they here? Why are they doing the things that they're doing? Why are they evil? Why are they colonizing other planets? Why do they exist? And you know what's something funny? Absolutely none of these questions are answered. And trust me, as this video goes on, we're going to keep going over some of the many other loose ends that are left untied in this series finale. Because it's the end of the show. And there are so many story threads that have not been addressed. What is the point of this song? Why are we getting a song? Why is there a song here? We're in the last 4 episodes. We are in the last 44 minutes of this entire series, and we haven't gotten to the climax, nor have we gotten to the resolution or the payoff, or the satisfying ending. We are literally almost at the end of this entire show. We're nearing the point where there's only a half hour of content left in this entire season, in this entire series, no less. And they're wasting it on a pointless song. Why? Okay, how the hell does this work? Okay, Yellow being able to mind control others by, like, blasting her beams into them or whatever. Like, I get that. But how the fuck does this work in reverse? How the hell does this work in reverse? If you have the power to impose your will onto other people, how does it work where they can impose their will onto you? And how does it stop working? Like, how does she get free of this? How does that work? I don't understand how this power is meant to work, and it really doesn't make any sense, and it also doesn't really add anything either. And also, second of all, an oldie but a goodie. Oh, God, it's horrifying! Quick, kill it with fire! Yeah, sure, we'll let you off the hook for what you did to the entire universe and your entire species for thousands of years. Yeah, we'll just let you off the hook for that. But dare you lay a finger on Steven? Fuck you! Now you die! The morality of these characters in this show honestly disturbs me. And that does it for Homeworld Bound. Honestly, we got exactly what I expected to get out of this episode. The Diamonds being of absolutely no help to Steven because they're the reason that all of this bad shit happened in the first place. Why? Why did they do all these bad things? Fuck you for asking questions. We're not gonna answer any of them. We're just gonna focus on fucking pointless stuff and contrived conflicts. And just... what was the point of this episode? Steven goes to the Diamonds and gets absolutely nothing. Yeah, what did he expect was gonna happen? They're maniacs. They're murderers. They're tyrants. They don't know anything about emotion. What made you think that they could help? You're running away from your family and your problems, and you're running over to the maniacs for help rather than seeking help from the people who actually care about you. Because don't give me that dribble that the Diamonds care about Steven. If they cared about Pink at all, none of this entire rebellion nonsense would have happened. I've said it before, I'll say it again. None of this rebellion bullshit would have happened if the Diamonds actually cared about her, and if they cared about her, Steven wouldn't exist. Just saying. All of this is their faults. And now, on to Steven Universe Future, Episode 18. Everything is fine. Yeah, that's a good question. Why haven't you two spoken since the incident at the hospital? Why is that? Because I'm pretty sure there was a decent amount of time between the incident at the hospital and when Steven ended up going off and adventuring with Jasper for 3 days. Pretty sure there was a reasonable window between those two time frames where Connie could have gotten in touch with him and talked to him about what happened. So why didn't you? And why is it that every time you two have spoken before now, you did video calls, but now for some reason, Connie, you're not doing that? Is there a reason? Oh? Could it possibly be to prevent Connie from actually knowing what's going on so that she could get involved and prevent what's going to happen in the climax of this contrived mess of a season? Just shooting a guess out there as to why that might be. Fuck you, Garnet! Fuck you, and fuck you for thinking that he's okay! What the hell is wrong with you? What is this we'll take your word for it bullshit? He disappeared for 3 days, he came back, Jasper was with him, she was calling him her diamond. I'm assuming Jasper didn't answer any questions that you asked her then, because then you wouldn't be wondering what the hell is going on. And then, he vanished again, went off to Homeworld, he's back, he's like 3 times his normal size, and he's glowing pink, and the window right next to him is shattered because he yelled so loud it cracked. What the fuck? What is wrong with you? Why do you think that... What is this? We'll take your word for it bullshit. What is wrong with all 4 of you? 4 meaning Ruby and Sapphire. I'm counting them as separate entities because they saw that Steven wasn't doing well back when he tried to propose to Connie and they still didn't do anything about it back then. So I'm blaming all 4 of you for this mess. What is this? Why? Why are you taking his word for it? He's clearly not okay. Look at him. Just look at him. He's not okay. He's still pink. You knew those pink outbursts were dangerous. You knew this. And Pearl, what is wrong with you? We're taking this long to talk to him. What is wrong with all 3 of you? All 4 of you? Whatever. Why are you taking his word for it? What is this contrived third act low point bullshit? Why? You need to do something! What is wrong with all 4 of you? Oh, look, it's Volleyball, a character that vanished off the face of the earth after one episode in this series, and now that she's here, they're covering up her eye to keep it purposefully ambiguous what the resolution to her story arc was, because they're not going to dedicate the time necessary in order to help her get over this past trauma, so they're going to be like, oh, just put a flower bouquet over her eye. Why even put her in the episode in general? Why even bring her in if you're not going to do anything with her, and if you're just going to leave it intentionally a mystery as to whether or not her eye is healed? What's the point? The show is ending in 2 episodes, and you're hiding this. The show is over. Why are you doing this? What is the point of keeping secrets when the show is going to end? Why are you like this? So Amethyst would act on Cactus Steven and tell Peridot, yeah, no, don't let Steven near any more plants right now. Rather than actually talking to him, she's just like, no, let's just put precautionary measures in place so that another Cactus Steven doesn't come again. Rather than actually talking to him and getting to the bottom of what's wrong with him, Amethyst does that. And she does that, unlike Garnet or Pearl. Because at least Amethyst did something. Garnet and Pearl did fuck all. Why? Why are the main characters in this show so stupid? So it's literally like been minutes since the Gems talked to Steven in his bedroom, and they're already off doing group counseling and working in a welding house and working at a baseball team. So they literally just said, okay, we'll take your word for it. Business as usual. Y'all are fucking buffoons. Why couldn't the episode just start here? Why couldn't the episode just start right here? Because the entirety of this 11-minute slot in the 44 minutes that are left in this entire show, they just spent it wasting time reinforcing things that we already knew. Why couldn't the episode just start here so that we could actually spend time on the important stuff rather than just meandering around, wasting time on things that we already know? What was the point of this? Okay, so his dreams were broadcasting onto television broadcast signals first. And now his subconscious is broadcasting over cell phone waves? Is this the only way that the writers could think to get Connie involved in the climax? You couldn't have Connie maybe call the Gems and ask them how Steven's doing? Maybe ask Pearl, since Pearl has a cell phone? Maybe come visit with your magically teleporting lion? Maybe ask Greg how he's doing? Maybe, I don't know, literally anything other than this contrived bullshit? Why? It was just so unnecessary. You didn't have to write it so that Steven would broadcast this weird GIF, however it's pronounced, of himself over cell phone waves to Connie so that she would show up. You could have done literally anything else. Why did you do that? Greg's acting like all's fine with the world after Steven turned pink and wrecked the car. Greg, he's not okay. He's clearly not okay. Because at least Greg is being civil and calm is something that more than I can say for the Gems. Rather than scolding him outright, Greg is just trying to ask simple questions, which is more than I can say that the Gems did. Particularly fucking Pearl. The one who knew about this since like episode 3 or 4 and said nothing. And then when she does say something, she immediately opens with scolding Steven. Fuck you, Pearl. Oh yeah, and there's no resolution for the argument that occurred between Steven and Greg, by the way. Just adding that to the list of loose ends in this season. Just adding that one real quick. Well, fuck me. I guess Steven really is gonna turn into that giant worm thing that was shown in the theme song. I guess Steven really is gonna do that. I guess I need to eat my words now. And speaking of villains that showed up in the theme song, I'd like to add more to the list of loose ends that have just been left untied in this entire season finale. You remember Eyeball and Aquamarine? They don't show up in the finale. At all. They don't get it so much as a mention. They don't show up. They just came in for one episode and then gone, just like that. Just a throwaway villain for one episode. Just didn't bother to do anything with those two characters. We just brought them in and then just sent them off into the wayside because that's all we know how to do with villains these days. We just bring them in and then cast them aside for contrived reasons and wait for 5 seasons to actually do something with them. Oh wait, we can't do that now because the show's over. And you remember those 2 Lapises? Yeah, that one curly-haired Lapis, she's probably still off terraforming that planet since we never got closure on that either. And we don't know what happened to the other one. I don't even know what people call Freckles. I think people call her Freckles. But yeah, Freckles just came to Earth and we got no kind of development for that. And Cactus Steven also vanished. That's just another loose end, just running around out there. Goodness knows where he went. Just all of those villains in that theme song opening thing, just pointless. Just pointless to the story. They didn't add anything. Eyeball and Aquamarine, they didn't add anything. Freaking the Lapises, they didn't add anything. Fucking White turning pink, that wasn't a villain thing. That was just Steven having another breakdown. Fucking Jasper, it's also all she contributed was dying. Fucking God, Cactus Steven came in, none of the characters acted on his presence, so he might as well have just been pointless. Fucking and Eyeball and Aquamarine, they came in, they did absolutely nothing with them, they vanished. What was the fucking point of just bringing in these characters to do nothing with them? Why? Steven Universe Future, episode 19, I am my monster. We're almost there. We're almost there. And it just gets worse. Holy Lord, that thing looks atrocious. I get that that's probably the idea because, like, Steven sees himself as a monster, and obviously the monster's not going to look nice. It's just still, this ain't pleasant to look at. It's probably what they were going for. It just felt like saying, it's hideous. So was Garnet using her future vision to say this? Because if so, how did you not know this was going to happen? Seriously, this future vision bullshit is just all over the place for this entire series, and it doesn't make sense how Garnet can see certain things coming, but she doesn't see other things coming. Certain things are set in stone, but other things just come out of nowhere because they're so highly unlikely. Like, but yet she acts on the idea of a lightning bolt about to strike Steven because the odds of that are extremely high, I guess. It's just like, what is the rules of this future vision power? How does it make any sense? How does Garnet use it? Does she how did she not see any of this coming? How did she not know about any of this? How did she not know she would find out any of this? Was it that unlikely? Did you even see this happening? Garnet, work with me here. Your future vision power makes no sense. Never mind that now? Never mind that now? What do you mean never mind that now, Garnet? How did he turn into this? How is this possible? How did this corruption just happen? How did he just turn into Godzilla? What is this? What do you mean never mind that now? Because they never answer how the hell this happened. How did he corrupt? Is it mental? Is that what you're telling me? Is it mental? Is that the case right now? That corruption is mental? Because they never delved into the idea of how corruption works. That's another thing that they never bothered to explain in this series. So Steven is just turning into this monster thing and we just need to accept it. How does that even work? Is this shape-shifting? Is this corruption? If it's corruption, how the hell did that happen? How? And how the hell are they going to reverse it if that's the case? Because it took all 4 diamonds to undo the corruption. This this climax doesn't make any sense. They're just going with the contrived route of making Steven literally turn into a monster to represent how he thinks about himself, even though the reason that he's thinking that about himself makes absolutely no fucking sense. And every single other main character is villainized because they weren't there for him, even though he was the one pushing them away. And then the Diamonds show up and ask, how is he corrupted? Because that's a very reasonable question to ask, but they're not going to explain that because they're just going to go like, no, we need big boss monster for climax. We need that. Without actually putting in the work or the reasonable logic to get to that point. I am baffled. I wish you could see the look on my face right now. I am stunned. I am absolutely, what's the word, flabbergasted. Let's go with that. How powerful is Lapis? Seriously, this man with the tink of a tiny hammer shattered an anvil in half. He is so fucking strong in that form. So how the hell is she able to hold him in this form? How powerful is she? How powerful is Lapis? Power scaling? What's that? Cluster Ex Machina. Seriously, what's the cluster doing here? Why did it show up? Is it because it felt the tremors in the earth? Then if that's the case, why the hell didn't the cluster show up in the movie when Spinel was literally ripping the earth apart? Why is it showing up now, but it didn't show up then? Really convenient. You know, Amethyst, I have to ask, why didn't you do something? Because that's a very reasonable question to ask if you knew something was going on. But I'm gonna have to ask you to stop beating up on yourself, because I'm gonna direct this at Pearl. She blatantly saw what was going on twice. She knew something was wrong with him this entire time and did absolutely nothing. The entire bastardization and brutalization of the only redeeming qualities Pearl had as a character left after the movie, it's sickening, honestly, just seeing how they completely and utterly wrecked her character by taking away her loving motherly side. They just took that away, her overprotectiveness of this boy. It's just gone. Where did that go? Why did it leave? Why doesn't she care about him anymore? Why didn't she do anything? Because so much of the bullshit in this entire season could have been avoided if Pearl talked to him way sooner than when she did. Seriously. Episode, what, 3, 4, was that volleyball? Because she knew about this pink outburst nonsense way back then, did fuck all. Pearl, why are you like this? This season is so contrived. It sacrificed every single one of its main characters' integrity in order to get to the point where they would have this giant monster Steven become this giant monster so that we can have a climax that's forced as all hell. This is bullshit. What do you mean every time gem stuff happens, you run the other way? You ran straight towards it when Lapis stole the ocean. What do you mean you run away? You ran right towards it. You were literally in the fight. What is this bullshit? The first shot where the cluster showed up, its arm was bigger than Steven's entire torso, and now it's tinier than his neck. What is this bullshit? Oh yeah, everything that you've done to the galaxy, yeah, just fuck that. Just fuck getting any kind of resolution or redemption for the horrible, atrocious crimes that you've committed to the universe for thousands of years. Just like, take your entire population and turn them into slaves? I sleep. Take a bunch of enemies who were turned against you and force their corpses together below the Earth's crust to become a geoweapon? I sleep. You do anything remotely bad to Steven? Real shit? Why does this show insist on making the good guys suffer for their mistakes raising Steven, but the bad guys don't suffer for their crimes against the galaxy? Because if you remotely are under any of Steven's disapproval, then you are the scum of the earth. But if you get a pass from this man, doesn't matter what you done, you're like the second coming. You're just forgiven of all of your sins. Why is this show like this? Yeah, Spinell, you did a really fucked up thing, which still doesn't line up with your character, because I'm gonna have to reiterate this because I feel like I did a poor job in my movie rant. The reason Spinell's character doesn't make sense is because her actions and her motives do not line up at all. Spinell, as a character, her motivation was because she was pissed off at Pink for abandoning her. Reasonable, that makes sense. However, when you're so angry that you're at the point where you're willing to kill a bunch of people that have never met you and never done anything bad to you, that doesn't really allow for rational thought to come into play, now does it? No, it really doesn't. When you're that angry that you can't think straight, rational thought doesn't come into play. However, in order for Spinell to concoct this entire bullshit plan where she gets this injector, gets this rejuvenator, because I still refuse to believe that she actually had that from the get-go, in order for all of that to happen, she needed to concoct this entire plan so that she could figure out where the injector was, figure out how it works, figure out where Steven lived based off of the statement that he lives in a beach house on Earth, because that doesn't narrow it down at all. Well, she'd have to get the rejuvenator, figure out what it is, how it works. She'd have to pilot the injector all the way to Steven's house, land it perfectly, turn it on, and for some reason not empty it all at once, even though she's so pissed off that she wants to kill all these people. And then when she's betrayed a second time, then she empties it all at once. It's just like, for this entire bullshit plan to be concocted, it really doesn't allow for rational thought to come into play, now does it? Because if Spinell just went to Earth immediately, guns blazing, like she doesn't even know where Steven is, but she'll hunt him down. Like, if they went with that, that would have been better. It's not good, but it would have been better than what they concocted, rather than this fucking MacGuffin injector out of nowhere that Spinell grabbed. It's just like, it doesn't make sense with her character, and it doesn't make sense with her motivation. This whole plan, it doesn't make sense given her motive, because if it took her that long, because it also doesn't make sense in the timeline, because it took her less than a day to concoct all of this nonsense and get to Steven's home. And they're damned if they did and damned if they didn't, for the record, for the writers, because they put themselves into a corner. Because if they had Spinell go to Earth immediately, then the timeline of events doesn't make any sense. But if they had it take longer for Spinell to gather these resources and get to Earth, then her motive doesn't make any sense. Because if it took her a long time to gather these resources, find out where Steven lived, make this entire plan, and then get there, that really should give her enough time to think about what she's doing and give her enough time to rationalize what she's doing. I just wanted to clarify that because I felt like I did a poor job of explaining that in the movie rant. But that's one of the reasons that Spinell is a bad character. But just overall, like, yeah, now the villains are feeling bad for what they've done against the galaxy. And just ignoring what the Diamonds have done to the other galaxies, just what they've done to their people, and just ignoring that. Just what they've done to Earth alone. Just like, now they're feeling bad because Steven is suffering for it. Someone that they themselves have tried to kill. Now they feel bad. Just like, okay, they had this weird redemption off of screen where they suddenly feel bad for the things that they've done. But now it feels like, oh no, we're horrible people because of the things that we've done. Just like, we're seeing them, like, overly cartoonishly begin sobbing. Particularly White. Like, she's just so overdramatic. Like, what the fuck is their characters? Seriously, what characters are the Diamonds supposed to be? Are they supposed to be evil, tyrannical dictators, or are they supposed to be crybaby big sisters? Because they went through this transformation off screen. It's just, this entire season just sucks. And now the villains are feeling like they're paying consequences for their actions because Steven is suffering. Because, of course, thematically relevant Sunshine coming in as Connie's giving a motivational speech to give our heroes the push they need to win the day. Just a little cliche thing that's just like, okay, sure, it's pretty, sure, but it's coincidental. You guys could have been there for him several episodes ago, particularly Pearl could have been there for him like 17 episodes ago. I don't know, it just seems like it's just like, this is such a fucking contrivance. Steven pushed them away because he felt like he was losing them. How does that make any sense? You feel like you're losing them, but you're pushing them away. Except you're not, because you actively sought out advice from the Diamonds, of all fucking people, and Ruby and Sapphire, and you gave your dad a chance, and you talked to Connie, sort of. Like, this doesn't make any sense. It's wildly inconsistent motivation. It doesn't make sense. It just... Fucking what? Steven is currently approaching Beach City at an alarming speed, and he is gigantic, and it is taking the other characters a very long time in order to actually get to him, so he should have plowed through them by now, given how fast he's going and how much ground he's covering and the amount of time it took them to get to him. Just character positioning. This is a very simple concept. Where are your characters right now, and what are they doing? Time frames are a thing, and I thought that Spinel was bad. They can't even handle something happening in the span of a few seconds. Make Garnet as big as Steven. Why not everyone else? Why not the other gems that can have their forms changed? Why just you? Why just Garnet? Just take a quick note of the current standing positions of all the diamonds, because keep that in mind. I'm not done with it yet. I just kind of find it funny that Bismuth doesn't say anything to Steven in this little montage of characters telling Steven how much they care. Because Bismuth and Steven have had, like, I don't know, very little screen time together, let's just say that. And he really hasn't transformed her life, now that I think about it. So that's not earned, so it makes sense that she wouldn't say anything. Just kind of awkward. Also, I just realized, Peridot, you remember that time that Steven found out that you betrayed them? Pretty sure that he was about ready to give up on you then when you literally broadcasted a message to Yellow Diamond. Just wanted to let you know that. He wasn't hiding anything from you, Pearl. It happened right in front of you. Twice. And you did nothing. Shut up. I just wanted to say real quick that this little shot right here of the cluster just holding Steven's hand, honestly, it warmed my cold, dead heart. I'll just say that much. But realistically, how did the cluster know that this was Steven? Just quick question. How did it know? Remember what I said about the diamond standing positions? Blue was on Steven's right, now she's on his left. Character positions. It's that fucking simple. So Steven has changed back to normal. And he is finally able to start talking to the people that he cares about to help sort through his problems, even though he was refusing to for this entire season for reasons beyond my comprehension, even though he talked to Ruby and Sapphire. And also, you want to know how the writers decide to address Steven's mental trauma that has been built up for this entire series? You want to know how they resolve the ongoing conflicts in Steven's mind? The conflict between him and Greg, the one where he proposed to Connie and he twisted it that she said no? The ongoing internal conflicts where he feels like he can't talk to the gems? You want to know how they resolve this conflict? They go ahead and in between the two episodes, skip 3 months into the future after Steven's been to counseling. That's it. I'm done. That's it. Fuck this. I'm out. That's it. No. Okay, you know what? No. Are you fucking kidding me? All of this entire season spent building up towards Steven having this emotional breakdown, and they just resolve it off screen? Are you fucking kidding me? They spent all this time wasted on bullshit like the Snow Day episode, and then just previously in the episode, everything's fine. They just wasted a bunch of time having Steven retread the ground that we already know, and now they're coming to the very last episode, and they're not going to give any kind of resolution. They're just going to skip past that and get to the end result? This entire season was pointless! Why? Why did they bother? Why would they even bother orchestrating this entire character arc for Steven if they're not even gonna have the resolution? They boxed themselves into a corner because Steven had literally no one he could turn to at this point, and so it wouldn't even make sense for him to open up to the gems now, especially after everything he's done. So they just skipped past that, rather than actually writing for it, rather than actually trying to put in the work to fix this story. They skipped it. They skipped the resolution to this entire season's conflict. I am so pissed off. This is how Steven Universe ends, on a contrived mess that didn't even get resolved. This is how Steven Universe ends. Fuck that noise. And just to calm down for a second, speaking of Steven Universe ending, since the show is finally over, and I want to hear, I have ideas for videos that I want to do in the future, but I also want to hear from you guys what you want to see from me now that the show is finally over. Like, what do you guys want to see me do next? Like, do you want me to go back and revisit old episodes? Do you want me to, I don't know, maybe do something new? Or do you want me to, I don't know, just what do you guys want to see from me? And also, I'm approaching 100 subscribers. Thank you guys all so much for that, by the way, because really, you guys have been so patient with me and so supportive of me through this entire series. It's been great getting to engage in conversations with you guys in the comments section. It's just been great getting to talk to all of you, and you guys, really, your support means the world to me. And I just want to say thank you. So, what do you guys want to do for 100 to celebrate 100 subscribers? Just let me know. Whatever it is you guys want to do, I'll take it into consideration. I've got a couple ideas of my own, but I'd love to hear from you guys. Anyway, that does it for I Am My Monster. On to the very last episode in Steven Universe. Maybe forever. We don't know. Who knows? This show might come back. If it does, I'm gonna lose my mind. The last episode in Steven Universe, as of right now. Because who knows if this show will come back. I doubt it, but who knows? The future. That's how you address the fact that Steven has finally started going to therapy? In a throwaway line? That's your idea of addressing the resolution for his ongoing trauma and internal conflict? A throwaway line? That's all you give us? A throwaway line saying that Steven has finally started going to therapy. That's all we get as a resolution for the conflict? What? Why? Why would you write the resolution like this? I know that the writers are never gonna see this. I just talk like it's in the... I don't know, like I'm presenting this to somebody. I don't know. It's just like, why would they do this? Just like, this is how you resolve the ongoing trauma Steven is struggling with. A throwaway line. This is how we resolve character conflicts, by resolving them off screen and then addressing the fact that the resolution happened in a throwaway line. This is how we address character conflicts now. Ah! Oh yeah, that's a great idea. By not telling the guy who's struggling with mental trauma and fear of, like, losing his connections. Just don't tell him that you're sad that he's leaving. Great idea, guys. Shows that you've absolutely learned nothing. Y'all are fucking morons. Bismuth and Steven have been in like 3 episodes together where they've actually had a conversation. This shit's not earned. Bismuth having tears in her eyes over Steven's departure. That's not earned. Okay, Peridot crying here, yeah, it just sort of tugs on my heartstrings a little bit because she's like one of the few characters in this show that I actually care about. But, like, I thought that the whole point of Steven having this emotional breakdown is because he didn't... Peridot, I thought that the whole point of that was because Steven didn't have anybody like himself And now you're saying, no, but don't go. I need you. Like, Peridot, you're not helping. Just saying, like, it's okay to miss him. But at the same time, like, for him to recover, like, that's kind of counterintuitive saying, like, oh, but you're, like, Steven, you're the best. Like, I need you for the emotional support. He needs emotional support right now? You're not helping. Bismuth, I can't think of anybody who's more of a crystal gem than you. Then please, take this symbol of your leader who lied to your entire army for thousands of years, getting who knows how many of them killed in the process, fighting for a lie that she told to you all, separating you away from your friends for thousands of years because of a lie she had to keep telling. This is a great gift, right? And I still don't understand why these three are, like, best friends now. Like, they're a trio and everything. Like, these three are just together now as friends. Sure. Okay. Why? Why do these three get along? Why are they, like, best friends? Why are they a trio? Where's Pumpkin? Because supposedly Pumpkin just died off screen. That's nice, I guess. You just kill a character off. Like, I get it. Pumpkin wasn't a major character, but it's been bothering me for a while ever since I was told this, that Pumpkin was supposedly died off screen. Just the fact that not even a mention is given to Pumpkin. Like, yeah, she was a minor character for the sake of comic relief, but she had an important role in both Lapis and Peridot's life. Like, sure, she didn't play a major role, but people love their pets. And just, like, these two characters needing to deal with the idea of death could be something for their characters to go through, to help them grow, perhaps. Particularly Lapis needing to deal with the idea of losing somebody that she cares about. But instead, Pumpkin just vanishes off the face of the earth, like most of the characters in this show do, for some bizarre reason. Jasper gets nothing! She gets no resolution. She gets no character arc. She gets no sense of growth. She gets no role in the finale. She's just here, says goodbye, and then fucks off. Jasper gets nothing. Wasted character, wasted potential, wasted screen time. Pearl is displaying remarkable composure here, despite the fact that Steven is apparently leaving, and she has been the one that's been the most emotional over him for the entire series, up until this season anyway. So I guess this does sort of cement the fact that she doesn't really care about him anymore. Oh wait! At the very end of the episode, she bursts into tears, losing all sense of composure, and she can't even talk. So does she care about him or not? Because this entire season is pointed quite to the contrary. She clearly doesn't give a shit about Steven anymore. Oh yeah, leave Steven with the idea that he's just leaving to figure things out on his own. When he attempted that in this entire season, everything went to shit. Yeah, great idea, guys. Great idea, Garnet. You guys learned nothing from this season, did you? The conflict between these two characters got no resolution. Nothing at all. No resolution. Just like, throw that conflict to the wind. Didn't happen. Just don't worry about it. Garnet's glasses are a completely different size and shape, and Amethyst's head is the wrong shape in this shot. Just felt like pointing that out. Great plan, guys. Leaving the guy with emotional, like, detachment issues to think that you don't give a shit about him leaving possibly forever. Great plan, guys. What is wrong with these main characters? Why are they such idiots? Why was this, again, with the contrivances, but this isn't even for conflict. This is just for a sappy, tear-filled ending. We couldn't have Steven say goodbye to the characters one by one. We couldn't have them being sentimental over the gifts that he gave them when he actually gave them to them. We couldn't have what we had with Bismuth, Peridot, and Lapis with the three other main characters of this story. 4 if you count Ruby and Sapphire as separate entities. We couldn't have that. We just had to have them fake it. Because faking it with this guy, when he's emotionally gone through so much trauma, he's been through so much trauma, and he's worried about losing connections with the ones that he loves. It's a great idea. Why did Steven even think that leaving would be a good idea? Oh yeah, the resolution was off screen. We don't know why. This is fantastic finale. They did a great job tying up all the loose ends. They did a fantastic job giving satisfying resolutions to these characters. They did a great job resolving the conflict. It's all just such perfect writing. It's such an emotional finale, so it doesn't matter how actually botched the story is. If it made me feel something, that means it's good. I hate this show so much. And with that, Steven Universe is finally over. This entire series is finally over. 7 years this show has been going on. 7 years it's been a part of my life, and only for like the last 2.5 has it been a terrible show in my eyes. I know, right? It's weird how times change, but this show just somehow decided to remain the same. It's a disaster, and honestly, it's kind of cathartic that it's finally over, but on the other hand, I'm gonna miss it. Because really, if it wasn't for this show, I wouldn't have been able to put my name out there on YouTube and pursue my dream of being a YouTuber, which is what I've wanted to be for as far back as, I don't even remember now, 2012, I think. Just like the idea of making content that people will enjoy has just been something that it's just appealed to me for such a long time. And you guys, honestly, I said it already, but I'm going to say it again. Your support really does mean the world to me. Just the idea that I can get out there and make videos with such a limited budget that I have, that I can make videos that people will actually enjoy, and that you guys have been so supportive and so patient with me. It really does mean the world to me, and I hope that this finale rant has been what you have been anticipating, with all of the rage that this season finale, series finale even, rightfully deserves. And there you have it, at long last, the Steven Universe grand finale rant as promised. I'm sorry again for the delay. Thank you guys again so much for being patient with me. It really does mean the world to me that you guys are so supportive of me. Like, it's insane to imagine that I'm almost at 100 subscribers when, honestly, I've never thought that I could do anything like this before. Just the idea that hundreds and thousands of people have watched my videos, it's an insane feeling just knowing how many people have seen the content that I put out, and so many of you have loved it. It's an indescribable feeling of gratitude that I feel, and honestly, thank you guys so much for sticking with me through this hell of a series. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey and this rage-filled ride. I really hope that I was able to deliver what you guys wanted out of this season finale rant, and again, we're reaching 100 subscribers soon, so leave your suggestions for what you guys want in the comments below. Again, I've got a couple ideas, but still, I want to hear from you guys, because I wouldn't be able to do any of this without you guys. I would not have the motivation or the determination to make this content without you guys, honestly. You guys really are the best, and I hope that in who knows how many more videos to come, that I continue to supply you with content that you will all enjoy, and that I hope I don't let you down. Thank you everybody so much for watching. This is Gatlin Golduck signing off for Steven Universe Future, the grand finale rant. Thank you everybody so much. Have a good one. Take care. I'll see you next time.